Hey everybody, JJ here, back again with another Wednesday of Zoom networking. Today's guest speaker is amazing. I just want to say, talk about his success story. He's really been doing this for more than a minute and has built quite, I'll use the word, empire. Extremely successful investor, and more than that, just a really unbelievable great guy. Actually met him through his son Antoine, my good friend, Mr. Eric Martel. Eric, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me, JJ.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for being here. Really quick, for those that don't know you, where in the country are you located?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Sounds beautiful.
I
Uh,
used to be in California, as you know, lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for, 18, 20 years. Also lived in LA, so for a couple of years. And then I just moved to Florida a couple of years ago.
you're not doing too bad. San Francisco's beautiful. LA is not too bad. Now you're in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
That
It's
sounds
getting a little
great.
too cold for some reason.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, the North Bay can do that for sure. Hey, I just say you're a success story. We talked a little bit about how you got started. You've been doing this for a couple of years. And I said, yeah, I met you through your son Antoine, who, like yourself, is amazing. You have a wonderful family, and you guys all work together. But I guess the best place to start is to talk about you, because that's where it all started with this empire that you built here. We all start real estate at a different point. Some start in our teens, some start in our 40s or 50s or 30s or 20s. We all start at a different place in a different way. Sometimes a family member is an agent or a contractor, something of that nature. Your start is your story is just amazing. When did you start? I know the answer, but when did you start in real estate?
I started about 200 years ago, when I
Yeah.
was young, when I was very young. And I realized pretty early on that my parents didn't have the full, they didn't really understand how the system was working, how the bank was working, how insurance was working, how business was working, any of that kind of stuff. And it was pretty evident to me that, but I didn't know how to put these things together. And it really came up a little bit later when I was 18 years old and I met an entrepreneur, a real estate investor, and he had built like a 36 unit apartment building. He had the project to build a shopping center and a nursing home. And that guy was just a regular community college teacher. He did all this with just a regular community college salary. And I knew that he knew something that my parents didn't teach me and that I didn't know, I didn't know about. So he basically became my mentor at that point. And with his help, I bought my first 8 unit apartment building at 8 years old, 18 years old, and with no money down. And that just happened to be the amount of money I had. So it was perfect.
Wow. 18 years old, bought your first apartment building.
Yeah, an 8 unit apartment building. Yeah, just outside
That's
of Montreal, right?
amazing. So, let's fast forward a little bit. Did you continue to do investment for the next handful of years?
Yeah, what happened to me at that point was pretty interesting. I think one of it is that it was kind of like I was not doing this to, for financial freedom or anything like that. It was really to prove to myself that I was able to do some investment of properties. That property, even though I had no money down, it was still cash flowing. Not very much, but it was still cash flowing. It was built, it was appreciating and all that kind of stuff. And it was really to prove to myself that, hey, it was possible for me to make money without having to trade my time for that money. And so that was the first test, and I was hooked right away. But when I was looking back at that investment, I realized that it took me a lot of effort to find that property. I probably analyzed over like 500 or 600 properties, apartment buildings, in order to find that one house where I would be able to get 100% financing.
Hmm.
So that was a lot. It took months to find that property and negotiate the deal, and then being able to close on it. So when that deal was done, I was thinking, "Wow, this was a lot of work. I'm very great that I got it, but it would be so much better if I had money in my pocket. So, so I started working. I got the job. I just graduated as in actuarial math, which is the math of financial risk, and got a job as an associate actuary for a consulting company in Toronto, actually. And but every time I was always looking for deals, but I was always looking for deals in the wrong places. I was looking for deals in big cities, and looking for deals in big cities and hoping that something with cash flow. You're not gonna find them there. You have to find them outside. You have to find them in smaller communities, in the suburbs, and all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
So the big cities like LA and San Francisco and New York are not great cities to find these kind of opportunities. Is that,
No. If you haven't figured that out, then
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
these are not great cities. I mean, if you have millions and millions of dollars, yeah, you can find some cash flowing rental properties. They're going to cash flow, but you're going to have to put a lot of money into them. And that means that your return on equity is going to be, or your cash on cash return is going to be very low, maybe 1%, 2%, and you're going to be at, leverage at maybe 40%. So not that great. And this is not the kind of investment that I want to make. It's just not for me. I'm not saying this is there are some people that have millions of dollars and obviously clearly they invest in these cities, but it's not the kind of investment that I want to make. I'm looking for cash flowing rentals and with good cash on cash returns.
and I think that's what we all want are cash flowing rentals. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Mhm.
Um, so as you proceeded with your venture as an investor, um, did you pretty much move right into this, not even having a regular job, but just got into investment, or was it a side hustle for a while?
So it was a side hustle for a while. Even when I landed in San Francisco Bay Area, I was looking for. I had a ton of money at the time. I was working for a high tech company, so I literally had like millions of dollars in stock options in 2000. And I don't know if any of you remember what happened at the end of 2000. It was the dot-com crash, and I had to go back to the drawing board. And I was just like, okay, well, I need to figure something out. Tried all kinds of different businesses but my focus was on passive income, building either businesses or using real estate to build a passive income portfolio so that I can be financially free and buy my time back. So, and it took a few years for me we started businesses. I mean, I know you probably saw we had like a low carb grocery store, we had a gourmet sauce company, we had a catering business, and the hope was always that we're going to take them off the ground and then we're going to hire someone that's going to manage that, and then we're going to move away and do something else, build another business or expand or something like that.
That kind of
Um,
sounds like you wanted to do the marketing, the catering, and the sauce to be like a food kind of an industry where you're looking to
Yeah, I
combine
mean, yeah,
things.
a lot of people want to follow their passion, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as it pays the bills,
Yeah.
you know, or you're willing to sacrifice some lifestyle, or you have a muse that pays for the bills for you. But for most people, if your passion doesn't pay the bills, you need to put your passion as a hobby, and then you need to find something that's going to pay the bill and learn to be passionate about it. So that's my recommendation there. But it took a while to after many years. Technology evolved also. It was very hard at that point in 2000, 2001, and all the way I think till 2008. In 2000 or maybe 2005, it was very hard to invest in other markets. You basically had to basically invest pretty locally until you had the iPhone, until you had electronic document signing. It was pretty hard to do that. You basically had to fly there to these markets and then work with realtors and all that kind of stuff. But once the iPhone and the cameras were everywhere, it became pretty obvious that hey, we were not stuck in the San Francisco Bay Area anymore. We could expand we can invest in other markets. So that was our first. We went back to the drawing board. I went back to the drawing board and I thought, okay, well, where would these markets be? Like, what is the ideal market for us to, for our family to invest in? So we want to have landlord-friendly states. We want to have cities that have strong business diversification. They have all kinds of different businesses. We want to have low unemployment, but we also want to have cities that are, I'm going to say boring so that you remember, but these are people that have like cities that have low growth, like less than 1% or around 1%. They have they have low growth in terms of population. They have low growth in terms of the business as well. So they're not massive expansion that brings a ton of people in, because you can't, it's hard to find deals when there's tons of people that are moving in the city and they're all scrambling to buy houses, buy plot of land, start building and all that kind of stuff.
So
So
just get saturated is what you're
it
saying.
gets saturated, exactly. The
I
demand
mean,
gets so high, then people, the prices of the real estate just
I
go
mean, it
straight.
sounds like Nashville's probably one of those places. Once upon a
Oh
time,
yeah.
nobody was going there, but now everyone's going to Nashville. Prices are going through the roof. It's become saturated. Everybody's buying there, and I'm hearing that the people that have lived there forever can't afford to live there because what their parents bought a house for, they can't buy a mailbox for.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we had that like a few years ago with Phoenix as well. We had that with Austin, Texas, also prices through the roof. And now they're coming down now. But so imagine if you made the investment. So I don't like the ups and down. I like to have very slow growth. And so that way I'm really interested in the cash flow and pretty slow appreciation. Even a 3% appreciation on an asset that's that's $100,000, just to make the number work easy to remember, is $3,000 additional appreciation per year, right? So that's $3,000, and then you get another $3,000 or in cash flow. It does add up on the amount of money that you put down. If you put, let's say, 20 or $25,000 in down payment, or $6,000 over that, it's like, what's that, 40%?
Eric, I'd like to take a couple questions here. I think we have someone we're going to bring in with a question. So let me bring this young man in. Mark Presswood, you are on with Eric Martel. What's your question?
What's up, everybody? Hey, what's going on, JJ? Thanks for everything, brother. You're amazing. And the question is, you talked about gratification, man, that delayed gratification. Everybody has a problem with it, even including me sometimes. We want it
Yeah.
now. I think we got trained by Amazon, right? Amazon, overnight free delivery and all that. We're just getting groomed. The likes and comments. And you know what? JJ really busted me down. We had a nice one-on-one talking about that, and he told me, brother, they will come to you, man. Just wait, you'll see. So, how do people deal with the delayed gratification? Because I
Yeah.
struggle with it too.
Exactly. The attention span of people is getting shorter and shorter. I think thinking in long term, having a long term vision is is very important. I think you have to think about it, about doing like small steps, but be consistent, be disciplined. And yeah, I think the culture has shown like right now, it's all about instant gratification, and people want to invest in crypto so they can make $1 million. And look where they are now. It's like, some of them are in jail. There's a lot of advantages in real estate, right? So I think all of you are kind of like have done some real estate investment. Clearly, it's an appreciating asset. It's in demand. It will always be in demand. And I think with the millennials coming up into and starting to build family and all that kind of, they're going to be looking for single family rentals so that their kids, their dogs can run in the backyard, and that's going to put a lot of increased demand on the single family market. So that's one aspect of it. So it's going to be the price are going to appreciate. They're going to appreciate, I believe, a little bit faster than they have been in the past. But even if it stays the same, an average of like what 3% appreciation, it's still pretty good on a big asset. Now, the other advantage of real estate is leverage. Being able to control a big asset for a small amount of money that really affects your returns dramatically. And I'm not going to talk even about inflation. But I guess I am going to talk about inflation. It's also great for inflation. I mean, you're purchasing something with today's dollar and you're paying it with future dollars that are going to be worth less because of inflation. So you just think about your mortgage payment. Let's say you're paying $1,000 today, and it's going to be like that for 30 years. Today, $1,000 might be a big amount of money, but 20 years from now, are you going to worry about $1,000? This is going to be the price probably of a hamburger. Um, slight exaggeration here, but and then you have positive cash flows. I always buy cash flowing assets, so it pays for itself and it gives me additional cash flow. And then I have tax advantages. So not only am I appreciating the asset is appreciating tax free, but the cash flow, when you combine that with the depreciation, it basically offset one another, and I don't have to pay taxes on that cash flow.
You
So
know,
you tell me one investment that is like that anywhere in the world, and I'll invest in that as well.
I I I can totally agree with you because our legal team, it was crazy at the event. There was a slide that really resonated with me very well, and it was kind of funny. Imagine looking through like a window, the old horizontal Venetian blinds, and the attorney's peeking through there, and the meme said that an attorney with a briefcase can steal more money than 100 men with guns, and like it's like it's studying the money system, which I was never taught in school. I was totally ignorant about credit cards and the debt and the leverage and all that. And YouTube University just freaking like opened my eyes. And it's crazy. I go to these events and they draw these little houses and they put the stripe on the side of it. It looks like a credit card to me. So they put a little roof on there and everything. And I'm thinking, I was talking to JJ about it, how, Fortune Builders, where he came from. It's one of the best seminars that I ever went to. I spent $100, and day one, was the intro thing. Day two was the pitch, and day three was half the audience, but that's where they dropped all the golden nuggets. And they just gave us the sauce, and I was like, this is crazy. So we have to use these tools out here and leverage, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to buy one Amazon stock, it's full price. So it's insurable. It's not going anywhere. You ain't picking up a house and taking it with you. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of sauce, not only did I have a gourmet sauce company, but the sauce, I'm giving the sauce away as well. Like if you read, I had a book out called it's still out there, like Stop Trading Your Time for Money. So it's available on Amazon. And I'm in the book, I'm telling everything about it, like about how to do it, everything. But people they're not gonna do that. I used to be so afraid that people would steal my ideas and whatever. It takes a lot of effort to take things off the ground. It takes a lot of effort. If you want to invest out of state, it takes a lot of effort to build a team on the ground, to find out exactly the market, to do a lot of things. It just takes a lot of effort, and people don't have time for that. And a lot of people, you mentioned they're looking, like, as you mentioned earlier, like they're looking for instant gratification. I used to do a mentorship. And I said, well, if you want to build a team on the ground, this is what you have to do. You have to call all the realtors that you can, find a realtor that, and it's also in my book, find a realtor that is investor friendly, that knows how to talk to investors, that knows how to find an opportunity. And guess how many people actually did that, actually called, So I think you know the answer.
I think it's right there on my background, maybe 1% or something, something like that, maybe.
Less than 5% were successful, where actually took my advice and did it, and it was very painful. But once they did it, once they found someone, then it worked out for them. But this is just the step one of that progression.
I feel you as a remote investor. I've had my ass handed to me, so
Yeah.
but the lessons are, I can I was just talking about that to another. I was doing a capital raise today on phone, and they didn't want to be on Zoom. They wanted to be on phone, and it just came to me that my last year's lesson was 400 grand,
Wow.
and money comes and goes, but
Hmm.
it's giving forward, so I'll turn that into more later. But the lessons are very valuable, and I can help the next guy be careful not to step in any of those holes along the journey. But
Yeah.
man, it's a pleasure. I know there's a bunch of people on here that want to ask, and I'm hogging everything up, and JJ is probably giving me the fingers. So I appreciate it, JJ. Thank
You're
you,
good,
thank you,
Mark.
thank you.
Eric, when you talk about going to other communities, are there certain tools the new investor can utilize? I think some of those tools are, uh, evaluating crime, evaluating the economy. Are there websites, are there apps that can help somebody with this?
Well, so there's one website called City Dash Data, and where they have a lot of they pull a lot of information in about crime data, neighborhood, and stuff like that. You can also look at Zillow. Zillow has a pretty good website when they're talking about markets. You can actually analyze the markets there, and they have a lot of data in there as well. Um, what I did on my side is actually pull data from, but they don't have everything, right? So I had to pull data from the Census Bureau. I had to pull data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I pulled data from city data to find out neighborhood information and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, this is just going to give you a little bit of an idea of where to invest.
Mhm.
But it's not the full picture. That's why it's
Yeah.
important to have a team on the ground, a realtor that knows how to invest in this market and knows how to work with investors. And then you have to kind of like ask that person kind of like, what do they see? What's the path of progress? Where are the up and coming areas? Where should you invest or not invest? So in the end, I mean, it's going to come down. You can have like, okay, I know that this target or this neighborhood is good, but then you're going to talk to your realtor and say, yeah, it's pretty good, but you don't want to go west of that street because this is not so good. On the east side of that street, this is great. I mean, we had areas like that in Cleveland where we invest quite a bit. And yeah, it was exactly like that. There was like a little piece of pie in that area that, yeah, you can invest all over there, but don't invest in here. So yeah. So that's important. So boots on the ground is going to give you the intelligence that you need in order to invest to find the right opportunities.
Yeah, boots on the ground are huge. Hey, we got another question come up
Mhm.
from above. Let me bring somebody on.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hi,
Good,
Sam.
Sam. What's your question, Sam?
Got you. So, introduce myself. My name's Sam Thompson. I actually just got in contact with Mr. Mark Presswood and Miss, what's her name?
Pansy
Casey
Sleep.
Pansy Sleep. Yep. And I'm 21 years old. I've been in real estate for about 9 months now, working on some apartment complexes as we speak. I actually just closed 2 deals while we were on the Zoom call and sent out 4 deals to my man Mark Presswood. So I actually have from a younger perspective on delayed gratification. I think that social media is a big impact for a lot of people nowadays because you have TikTok, which are 3 to 5 seconds long. You have Instagram Reels, which are very short. So people's attention spans are starting to become very, very short.
Yep.
And I noticed while speaking with a lot of my friends, a lot of them, they just wander off, right? They can't really focus on a lot of things because they're so used to scrolling on TikTok every 2 seconds, scrolling on a reel, scrolling on a different like. And a lot of people have dopamine issues and don't know how to reset their dopamine. So, so when they're sitting there on TikTok, it's a lot harder for them to actually have a genuine conversation or to stick to one task for a long period of time.
Mhm.
So the one thing that I found out for me that helped me out was actually starting to go to the gym. And when you start working out, you realize in the first month you actually don't see any progress, right? But after a while, maybe after that 3rd month mark, that 4th month mark, you start to see it. And I feel like when you get into the mindset of not wanting something instantly, like meditation or praying and doing something consistently day in and day out, you actually start to realize that you can focus on things for a longer period of time. And for me, it was starting off with the gym and then learning how to meditate. So starting off with 5 minutes a day, then going to 10 minutes a day, then going to 30 minutes a day, which I'm at right now. And I feel like as a younger kid who's 21 years old, it was definitely something that helped me in the real estate game, because sitting down on a phone cold calling for 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, day in and day out, actually helped me with that delayed gratification and learning how to become patient. As an apartment complex, I'm working on apartment complexes. I'm actually looking to grow, and I was wondering how I would be able to build a better buy box for bigger complexes. I went from single family homes to apartment complexes, and I'm trying to figure out how I can build a better buy box with bigger investors.
With bigger investors,
Yes,
well,
sir.
yeah, I think the big thing, especially in the apartment building and commercial space, is really is a track record, a solid track record. You may want to have like co-sponsors on your, I'm assuming you're doing syndications, have co-sponsors and really network with these co-sponsors and do it together so that you can build your track record with these maybe bigger players that are going to show you the ropes on these bigger apartment buildings. So yeah, so that's kind of my recommendation there. It is, the apartment building is a little bit difficult, especially right now. I think I know I can't find deals in the apartment buildings really. Space, I can find a lot more deals in in the single family. I have no problems finding deals there.
Eric, if I could jump in on that for a second, we've actually got someone coming to speak in a couple of weeks on apartment buildings, and you might want to jump on that call, Sam. But one of the pivotal things that I like to talk about and that my group is predicated upon is a relationship. And, in order to make your business successful, you need to surround yourself. The success of your business will be predicated on the 5 or 6 people that you engage with the most. And what does that mean? That you're building relationships with. Real estate's about relationships. And what does this mean? It means you need to build friendships, honest to goodness, true friendships with successful people. That's the key to bringing you more money. That's the key to bringing you more opportunity. People help people that they know, like, and trust. You cannot do this by yourself. What do you want? You want help. You want people to help you 2x, 5x, 10x your business, just blow up your business. People will help you, but people help people they know, like, and trust. And I throw trust out the window, because if I don't like you, I'm not going to trust you. So it's like people help people they like. How do they like you? Well, to like you, they need to know you. To know you, you need to be visible. And when I say visible, and everybody on this call, for the most part, has a Facebook page. We're in a variety of Facebook education groups that we're in a variety of real estate education groups where each education group has a Facebook page for their community. 95% of all of these communities, they're invisible. Doesn't mean they're not doing the work. They're not watching the videos. They're not doing the education. They're not leveraging their community to acquire assistance. And how do they do that? By networking. Networking leads to visibility. Visibility is opportunity. What do you want but the opportunity to build relationships with people that can help you? So, Sam, I say register for my group. Come back to my Facebook 101 classes. Let me show you how to maximize your visibility, how to build your brand. Sam Thompson, you have a name that resonates. It's like, oh, yeah, I know Sam Thompson. You know Sam Thompson? Oh, yeah, Sam Thompson. You need to learn how to market yourself, how to build your visibility so people know who you are, to the point when your name becomes your brand. When your name becomes your brand precedes you. When your brand precedes you, opportunity comes your way. Ask me how I know. All this is about building relationships, Sam. As you say, you're young, so you're off to a great head start. But the key is to not help you with the deal. You know the deal, apparently. You're well ahead of many people your own age. But the key to your success is not chasing the deal, but chasing the relationship, learning how to communicate with other investors, older investors, learning how to market yourself, learning how to create dialogue. So come back, jump on my calls, get on a one-on-one with me. I'll be glad to help you. Stick around for after the call. You'll see how you can join the group. Um, Between Eric and I, Sam, did we answer your question?
Yes, sir, you did. I completely agree with you with the network. As my dad would say, your network is your net worth. So the people you know is how much you are. And I
Hey,
definitely agree.
let's talk in the future. Looking forward to get to know you, and I think you're off to a really good start. You sound like you've really got things put together, and we'll just help you get there.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. We all want to do this full time, but we don't always have the availability to do it full time.
Yep.
Is real estate something we can do as a side hustle? Of course, those that start as a side hustle, we have our W-2, we have our health insurance, whatever we don't want to walk away from just quite yet. A medical plan or a dental plan, things that are in place for people who don't have their real estate going yet. Obviously, eventually, we want to get to the point where we've got a running business. You know, you yourself, you've got both your sons working with you, your wife working with you. The four of you have created an empire, which is amazing to behold. But it is still possible to develop a side hustle while you've got a W-2, and then eventually, ideally, eventually turn that to a full-time gig.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you have two options, really. I mean, if you have a ton of money, it's you buy turnkey rentals, and then you have positive cash flow, and you can retire. You know, I don't know. It depends on what your best passive income target is. But you know, if you want to have, let's say, $10,000 a month on two, and the net cash flow for each property is around $200, maybe you need like 40 properties, single family rentals, in order to achieve that. Yeah, and you know, if you have enough money, if you have $1 million, boom, you buy 40 single family rentals, and that's it, you're done. But most people are not like that. So what you have to do then is figure out a way to get to that point, to build that passive income to get to that point. The key thing here is that the hardest thing is the time, right? So you have to invest in such a way that you can buy your time back, and then once you have your time back, then it opens a whole bunch of other opportunities that you may not have before. But before you get there, if you're working full time, you know, you really have like a couple of options if you don't have the money. The number one option is if you're like me, you're very fortunate to have a family that is very entrepreneurial, and my two sons were basically my Antoine especially was really running the phone, calling, like when we were talking and said, let's go to Memphis or let's go to Cleveland. He was literally calling every realtor, every property manager in these areas, interviewing them, you know, seeing what if they were real estate investor friendly and all that kind of stuff. You actually went and traveled there and, you know, met with them and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't have that, that means that you have to do it on your own, like in the evening or somehow. But the other thing too that I have, and then I've solved that problem for many investors that want to get there, and they don't want to spend the time and effort and energy to build that real estate business or to get started with that real estate business. And that's where Flip System, when we launched Flip System last year. So with Flip System, like we combine not only the online training and the coaching, so we have like daily coaching calls, but also you get the acquisitions team, you get the team on the ground, you get, and we actually show you which properties we've pre-analyzed for you. You have a system to keep track of all these opportunities and these deals. And then we connect you with the lenders that are, you know, they know what the kind of properties that we're doing. And at the back end of this, we're helping you with selling the property on Martel Turnkey, which is our turnkey our website as well for the turnkey rental property. So, and all of that is you're part of a community. So we actually have in our application, in our portal, we have like a place where people, investors like yourself, can talk to one another and say, hey, you know what, I've done this deal, I've done this deal. You know, how did you handle this situation? And share wins. What I found when I got started in real estate, when I started investing in Memphis, the first house that I bought there, I started telling my friends that, hey, you know what, I'm buying a house, a single family rental in Memphis. And they said, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, out of state? Like, how often do you have to go there? I said, I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna talk to them. They're gonna send me pictures. You crazy? Like, how much did you pay for the house? I paid $45,000 for the house. What? What did you get? Like 45, that's the price of my garage is worth more than that. Like, how did you
Yeah.
get a house for $45,000? It must be like, it must be crap. And so you have a lot of naysayers and a lot of people that are gonna kind of, you know, you know, it's gonna put you down a little bit. And the community is great because we're communicating with one another. We see what other people are doing, and it's really uh, enlightening, and it's also motivating to see that other people are doing it, other people are making money doing it, and so that kind of helps with the motivation. So all these things. So that's what we do with Flip System, because we had a lot of investors, people that were buying turnkey rentals from us. They bought like 3, 4, or 5 single family rentals. And then they say, you know what, like, can you help me? Like, I want to buy the distressed property. I want to renovate it. I want to rent it out. Can you introduce me to your team on the ground? Can you do this and stuff like that? And, you know, that's our kind of our secret sauce. So we didn't want to just give that away.
Yeah.
But now with Flip System, we're literally doing that. We're introducing you to teams on the ground, teams that we vetted, and you know, and we're monitoring these deals pretty closely to make sure that our customers and our students are very successful.
Serena Bales, you're on with Eric Martel. What's your question?
Yes, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this. So if I have a single family house in Kansas City, I have flipped it and I'd like to sell it turnkey on your platform. Can I do that?
No, we're only allowing Flip System students that have gone through the program to sell on Martel Turnkey or the properties that we've done ourselves. And the reason for this is, well, 2 reasons. I mean, first of all, we want to make sure that we give priority, obviously, to our Flip System student. You can imagine that if you were a Flip System customers, you wouldn't want to compete with everybody else that we're listing on the platform. And second of all, our Flip System customers, they're following a very specific program in terms of the level of renovations that they're doing, the kind of tenants they're going, where they're investing, which market they're investing, and all that kind of stuff. So we're very specific about that. And at the end, the properties is going to be the same level that we're expecting, or that our Martel Turnkey customers are expecting. We have Martel Turnkey, we have about like 15,000 investors that's on our mailing list, and also we also have like a texting system as well, text marketing. And so we have like 15,000 investors in that program, and that are interested, that are looking for single family rentals.
We're rolling a little bit past the hour here, so I think what I'd kind of like to do is roll it up a little bit here. But what I really want to do, Eric, is allow people to be able to get in touch with you.
Yep.
You provided some great content, some great information. I'm sure people on the call not only have questions, but people watching on YouTube weeks and months down the road are going to have questions. If people want to connect with you, what's the best way for people to reach you? Is it your MySpace page, your TikTok? What's your
MySpace? Is anybody still on MySpace? Okay, one for 2 people. 3.
What's your preferred method for people to reach out to you?
I'm pretty much on every platform under Eric Martel Official. So on TikTok, Facebook, you name it. So I'm even on YouTube as well. So I have a YouTube channel, and if you search for it at Eric Martel Official, you should find me there. The other option is for you to, I'm going to put my email address as well. So these are the 2 best ways for people to reach me.
My last question for you is, I've got a networking group. I talk all the time about the importance of networking.
Yeah.
Um, we met through an education program, Fortune Builders. I think they're greatly changing their format now. I think they no longer do live events. I'm not sure. I'm not really
Yeah,
involved.
they're not doing any live events.
Yeah, they've pretty much completely changed. But every education platform has a Facebook page for their community. And I know of about 40, there's probably over 100 different education platforms on real estate that have people buying into one program or another. And they've got brand new investors coming in with no experience. They've got new investors coming in with a lot of experience to these Facebook communities of real estate education. And people are often, some have used Facebook before, some have never used it before,
Mhm.
but they're coming with a Facebook page and joining Facebook groups. What is the importance of networking to the new or the experienced investor when it comes to using social media? What is the importance of maybe joining a networking group like mine to the success of someone's business?
Oh, well, networking, business is about people. So there's no going around it. So networking is absolutely everything. This is where, when you get started, this is what you have. This is what you have to do when you get started. When you want to find investors. I mean, this is with Martel Turnkey. That was instrumental. We had and we still have like hundreds of investors with us that lend us money as private money lenders or joint venture in some of these houses that we bought. We got millions of dollars from these individual investors. Some of them they had as little as like $10,000 that they would lend us to put on some deals, just to give you an example. So it doesn't have to be necessarily like somebody that, and we also had someone that had like $5 million with us. So we had the full
Wow.
spectrum. Little kid that, I shouldn't say little kid, but young gentleman that was probably 18 years old, and he had $10,000 in cash, and he said, I'd rather, it's not making money in the bank, might as well lend it to you guys. That's crazy. Um, so at the beginning, it's definitely essential. In the middle, it's absolutely essential. And one of my saying is that in terms of investment, is that it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're always short a couple of millions. And that's been very true every time. Like you're always looking as your company grows, as you scale up, you're always going to find new opportunities, and you're always going to want to have other people beside you, other investors, other partners, people that have money, that have skills, that have knowledge, that have other networks that really are going to grow your business.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. This is one of the things that I like about business is the people. And the real estate community is a fantastic community where, that we share a lot of people. I mean, JJ, you know about this. I mean, you look at Fortune Builders, you look at the people on the call today. I mean, we're all willing to, spend our afternoon, our late afternoon, to share and help one another achieve better results and reach our goal. So this is what it's all about. To me, that's one of the best, I would say, human experience that there is business and networking.
Yeah, no, I could have said it better myself. And of course, I preach that all the time.
Hmm?
Hey guys, if you're watching on YouTube right now, I'd like you to please like Eric's video. Please put in the comment section now your takeaways on the presentation today, what you found valuable, how we can improve in what we're doing, making better content or smoother, presentation for you. If you want to get hold of Eric, again, it's going to be on his Instagram, and that is Eric Martel Official. And also through his Instagram page, you can find his website as well for the Flip System. If you want to connect with me, go to my website, jjazizian.com, and register for my group. Click the little pulsating now button. If you guys are on the call right now, please don't go away. We're going to do some networking, some lifetime networking. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please look for more great content, great guest speakers, and great videos coming out week after week. We're cruising into 250 videos soon. We're not far away. So thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on the call right now, thanks for joining us. Don't go away if you're on the call. Eric, for those that are watching on YouTube, we'll see them out in Instagram and in the virtual world of networking, right?
Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, whatever it is. I'm there.
MySpace. Mike,
Yeah.
don't forget MySpace.
So I have to start an account on MySpace now.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you very much. Talk to you later.